Now we welcome in investigative journalist Avery Wilks. Avery has worked extensively with the Post and Courier. He's been in court watching all of this. Welcome and thank you for joining us. And my first question to you is, what did you make of John Marvin Murdaugh's testimony yesterday?
I thought it was powerful. You know, John Marvin Murdaugh is not really like the other Murdaughs. He's not a lawyer. He's not someone who comes off as unrelatable or overly wealthy, even though he probably is. He's folksy. He got emotional on the stand, and I think he played very well to the jury as he, went into detail about, Alex's relationship with his wife Maggie and with his sons Paul and Buster. And so, John Marvin is exactly the witness that Alex's defense team needed, at this stage of the trial as they wrap up their case.
And there was another theory put forth yesterday about a second shooter. We've got a soundbite about that. I want you to listen to it and give us your thoughts about now at least a third theory of death on this case.
Mr. Palmbach, do you have an opinion based upon more probably than not whether there was one or two shooters who murdered Maggie and Paul on the night of June 7th?
I do have an opinion on that.
And what's your opinion?
My opinion is the totality of the evidence is more suggestive of a two-shooter scenario.
So we have a two-shooter theory. We have a theory that there was revenge for a boating accident in which Paul Murdaugh was involved, and a theory that maybe it was somebody with whom Alex Murdaugh was consorting in supporting his drug habit. So is there enough reasonable doubt out there with all these different theories, or are there too many theories?
I don't think there can be too many theories from the defense's point of view. They're trying to throw everything at the wall to see what sticks with the jury. And they're trying to show that there are other scenarios out there that the state and its investigation did not fully explore. We've talked about a local gang here called the Cowboys, from whom Alex indirectly bought drugs. And we've talked about the fatal 2019 boat crash that Alex's son Paul was involved in, after which there was a lot of vitriol directed at the Murdaugh family. And we've also heard some, as we mentioned earlier, some forensic experts come out here and say, the Maggie shooter was probably a foot shorter than Alex, and there's a lot going on at the crime scene, and there's a good possibility that it was more than one shooter. So I don't think Murdaugh's defense team believes it's their responsibility to actually solve this crime. It's just their responsibility to provide doubt in jurors' minds that one person could have accomplished all this, and that, given everything that we've now seen and learned about the crime scene, that it likely could have been someone else.
Well, and you mentioned the crime scene. Last thing before we go, and we got to be quick here, but the jury will visit the scene where Paul and Maggie were killed. But it's been more than 18 months since this crime took place. It's got a new owner now. It's been sold. It has different landscaping. What are the rules going to be for this trip, and what will the jury how will they benefit? How is this going to impact the case that they see it?
I'm not exactly sure how they're going to benefit, other than getting boots on the ground and getting a sense of the size and the scale of the property. So far, they've only seen, maps and renderings, and it's been kind of difficult to get a sense of, how long it might take to get up to the Moselle main house from the dog kennels where the crime scene was, and vice versa. But as you mentioned, there has been a lot of change at the property, a lot of overgrowth. There's been some trees that have grown up in the main, in between those two structures. So I'm not exactly sure what they're going to get out of this.
It will be interesting to see if they do get anything out of it, but we won't know until after there's a verdict and people can talk to jurors. Avery Wilks, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.